Houston Real Estate Radio starts right now.
Welcome back. I'm Shanna Register, and you are listening to Houston Real Estate Radio, where we bring you news and information you can use on your next real estate transaction. Last segment, we were talking with Bob Mitchell. He's the president of the Bay Area Houston Economic Partnership, and we really wanted to focus on the Bay Area. We haven't put a strong focus on that with the show, and definitely want to learn what's going on in the area. We talked a little bit about the effects of NASA downsizing. And we talked about the new spaceport that's being built, or that's going to be built in the area. That was very exciting. And now I want to move on to more some home ownership issues that are a little bit closer to people's heart here in Houston when they're looking at moving to the different areas and the impacts that housing issues are going to have on their lives. One of the things that we ended with last segment, we were talking about flood insurance. So Bob, let's pick up with that flood insurance, because I think a lot of people who don't live in flood areas don't realize what's going on with flood insurance.
Well, the one thing that people need to understand is that maybe at one point you didn't live in a flooded area, but these new flood maps that have come out has taken a vast majority of the homes and areas that were in the 500-year floodplain and have just moved them into the 100-year floodplain. So you need to look at your policy, you need to look at the maps, you need to get a complete understanding as exactly how it's going to affect you, because my guess is it's going to affect a lot more people than they ever imagined. Now, this project, again, that we think that we can stop. We think it's important that you can't cause this train wreck where you have FEMA on one end changing the flood elevation maps, and then you have this bigger water axe, which is the flood insurance agency, raising their rates at just astronomical. It's going to affect homes, the value of homes. It's going to affect the tax base. And we've got to make sure that we put a stop to this. We've worked very hard on this. We're actually contacted New Orleans yesterday. They contacted us. It's a national effort. It doesn't just affect the Gulf Coast. It affects Florida, the East Coast, all the way up to Maine, and the entire Mississippi River Delta. So we think that we can stop this, do a reevaluation of it, and yeah, maybe our flood insurance needs to go up, but not at the rates that they've proposed. And
what are the rates that they've proposed?
Oh gosh, a good example, like I said, is one of the homes in our area that was $800 last year is well over $3,200 this year.
And you say it's going to continue to go up.
And it's part of the Bigger Waters Act says very clearly that once you get your base rate, and let's use $3,200 as that base rate now, next year it'll go up 25%, the next year it'll go up 25%, and the next year it'll go up 25%.
Wow.
No questions asked.
Automatically.
So we
and if you have a claim, I'm sure it's going to go up even more.
Absolutely. And what's going to surprise a lot of people is that, if you've never had a claim before and you've never had to pay for flood insurance, you're about to start paying probably about $1,200, $1,500 a year.
Well, that's going to affect a lot of families for sure. What other projects are you seeing down in the Bay Area? What are some housing projects that are going on?
Well, first of all, let me tell you a little bit about what all we do. We're actually working 41 different projects today. But let me focus a little bit on two projects that were just announced. And again, as most people know, that's in economic development, that the projects that you're working on are very confidential. You just can't talk about them. But let me talk about two that just occurred. Trendmaker Homes just announced the opening of the reserve at Clear Lake, which we're very excited about. It's an area off of El Dorado. They bought 372 acres. They're going to build about 750 homes. The homes are going to start at about $250,000 a piece and go up from there. But as part of that as well, there's a big, huge retail area that's going to go in that consists of about 40 acres. That's going to be right off of El Dorado. It's going to be called the Clear Lake Marketplace. And currently, they're negotiating, obviously, with a big HEB for 104,000 square foot store that go in there. But there'll be much other retail involved in that as well. So we're pretty excited about that. One of the other projects that Pinnacle Alliance Fund just procured 100 acres right there off the Gulf Freeway next to Big League Dreams, and there's going to be a development there that's going to be everything from a few high-end condominiums to retail, to Entertainment City Center to at least 2, maybe 3 6-story office buildings as well.
Nice.
And to work with us, the state has helped us with that because they're doing, to make a better access to that piece of property, there's going to be some new on and off ramps. They're going to make access to that area a lot better.
And that's in the League City area?
That's absolutely in the League City area.
So from I-45, you think there'll be some new exit entrance ramps?
There will be. I mean, it's already been negotiated in that contract for that one particular one. And of course, we're widening it as well. It's going to be a struggle.
There's a lot of road construction down there.
There is a lot of road construction down there, but at the end of the day, it's going to benefit all of us.
When do you think all of that's going to be completed?
The road construction will be done in about 3 years.
Okay.
And that'll go down past 646.
And then the on-off ramps, when do you think those will be completed?
Those will be completed in less than that, about a year and a half.
Okay, good.
They're going to be working on those real quickly so we can get that development moving.
So you guys do a lot of projects, have a lot of things going. You said you have, about 27 projects?
No, we have about 41, 38 to 41 projects.
That's a lot of projects.
I should have checked before I left. Yeah, it is. It really is. And people talk about projects, and I've talked about projects in the past. And, some of those projects that you talk about aren't real projects. But I will say that our economy is bouncing back so well that these are all real deals. They're not people just coming out, and just trying to, find out exactly what you can provide for them. These are actual real projects, people, companies, individuals that are looking to invest and or move their companies here.
And do you help get money to fund these projects?
We do. We work with the counties and the cities on abatements. Work very closely with the state, the governor's office on the Texas Enterprise Fund, which is a deal closing fund. We've been very fortunate that we've been able to work with the governor's office and use that fund on 4 different occasions that has created well over 2,300 jobs in our particular area just through that one project.
Now, we talked about all the issues going on with the flood insurance. Is there anything that consumers can do to help with that?
Yes, absolutely. Consumers need to get on the phone, call their elected officials. Congressmen, senators, absolutely. Go Google Biggert Waters Act.
Biggert, like B-I-G?
G-E-R-T -Waters, W-A-T-T-E-R-S. Or you can go to our website, Bay Area Houston, www.bayareahouston.com. There will be a link that goes to the work on the Biggert Waters Act.
That's good information, so they can go read about it, check it out.
Absolutely. Once you get a better understanding about it, get over the shock, pick up the phone, call your federally elected official, says we can't live with this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it is going to affect a lot of people in our listenership area. So that's good information to know. Well, Bob, thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate this great information about the Bay Area because a lot of our listeners are in the Bay Area. So it's good for them to get this information. And, our studio is located on the north side of Houston. So we have to get out there and find out what's going on all over Houston.
Right.
So it's exciting for us.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right. Well, you have been listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. We're going to take another commercial break and we'll be back. We've got more from our previous home shows coming on. So we're going to let you get a sneak peek at some of the things that we found at the previous home show that we were at. And we'll have a couple of segments of those shows coming up. And then we'll tell you about what's coming up next week here on Houston Real Estate Radio.